Hello and welcome to Pop Chat. My name is Annette Tarpley. I am the founder of the Passion of Poetry, and I'm so happy to have with me today Sylvia Beverly, aka Lady Di, from the United States, renowned and internationally renowned poet. Welcome, Lady Di. It's great to have you here.
Thank you so much, Annette, for having me today.
You are welcome. I've been very excited. Those of you who saw the intro, saw all the wonderful food works that she makes also, which she kept sending me those pictures last night. And I still have a hard time looking at it because I just start salivating and get very hungry. So I was thinking, I would pay you to cook for me, So I would. So there's so much that I want to ask you. You're very interesting. You have had a long writing career, I know. But what I want first to do is to kind of give the stage to you and let you tell us about Lady Di. You can divulge whatever you want, not just, professional as far as writing career or whatever. Whatever you want to say about yourself, personal, whatever. Let us know more about you. So I'm going to give the stage over to you, my dear.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Let's see, I was born in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., at Georgetown University Hospital in Northwest D.C., and I was raised in Washington, in the southeast part of Washington, D.C. I am the second child of nine, the oldest girl, oldest daughter, and presently I am the matriarch of my family. That makes me proud and happy. They say that my mommy prepared me to be the matriarch, that I was always a leader in the family, always helping to take care of my siblings. So I don't have children of my own, but children, all the youth are a great interest to me. And I do tutor children, and that's always fun. And it's been real delightful to see how long I've been doing that because they all are growing up and have their careers and families of their own now. Poetry's my passion, but I just love reading and writing. I still write note cards and letters to people. We all love to get something in our mailbox other than bills and advertisement. So I surprise my friends and family with little cards and notes and letters. And that's a fun entity for me. But I write some type of poetry on a daily basis. Um, and probably one of the first poems I'm going to share with you today is a poem that I just wrote last evening. They call me the love poet, and it's love for humanity, love for children, love of nature, love for my partner, romantic love. I just love love. So even when I'm doing some social conscience, I bring the love into the poem and keep it pleasant. And there's some good in everything. So that's where I'll start. I'm not able to hear my host. Let's see.
I try to do that just in case my dog barks. She's a little yippy this morning. Um,
Okay.
as we were getting to know each other the other day, and you just had mentioned that you are the matriarch of your family. And one thing that I found that was very astounding was that you have suffered a lot of loss. And sometimes, loss that might not be in a natural manner, might be sudden or whatever.
Yes.
And you've had to be the one there to kind of be that matriarch and to be that backbone and to be that shoulder to cry on, for everyone else. And all I could think of was how strong you must be to be able to um, kind of deal with your own loss as you're helping others deal with theirs. So
Yes.
it's amazing. It's actually a gift to be able to do that.
Well, my faith aids me in being able to do that. I pray through, on a daily basis, and I especially during those times, it's prayer and it's God that helps me, that aids me in doing it. And so, what seems hard to someone looking in on it, what I'm doing, it's not as hard for me because I'm just saying, lead me, guide me, and God does that for me. So,
Yeah. Don't you? I not long ago I wrote a piece about what do people do that don't have faith. You
mm,
know, um, because I often wonder that. Sometimes people who don't believe in God or have that belief will sometimes refer to people who have a belief as being weak, and that
mm,
being a crutch. And we find it our strength, I know. And it's kind of our rock. And I just honestly don't know how I would have um, went through many parts of life without having faith, as you yourself
yes,
have said. So do you in your poetry, do you have a lot of faith based poetry that you've written?
I do. I do have a number. One of my signature piece is spiritual. I
Yeah.
wrote it from a sermon that one of my priests from Nigeria, and when he heard me present that poem, he said, "Oh, now I thought people didn't understand because they say I have an accent, but I see that people do understand by what you've written in your poem."
Yeah.
So yes,
Yeah.
I do include my love of God and my depending upon Him. Yes,
Yeah.
very much.
I suppose you probably also, given your writing abilities and your speaking abilities, have kind of eulogized and spoke at many funerals as well.
Yes,
Yeah. So, but um, I gave you a little task last night. We did a task that I've been doing lately.
yes,
And so, Lady Di, I've been doing this thing lately where I have had, trying to get the poet to come up with a title. Sometimes they don't, and I have to come up with something. But I'm glad that you did, and she came up with this title, and I said, I don't know what to do with it. I don't know where to go with that. And then she said, I don't remember if you said think about it or whatever. But anyway, finally it came to me. Yeah, I know I'm going to go with that. So I'm very excited to hear yours. Um, and would you share that with us? And go ahead and tell us the title you came up with.
Okay, I know the title I came up with, looking for Mr. 10, but I believe it's in my phone. And I'm using my phone here. So let me see. Oh my, if I can bring that up. That didn't do it. Getting ready to get lost here. Oh my. I hope we don't have to start over again. Can you hear me? I came out of it.
I can hear you. I just muted myself. I keep thinking the dog's gonna bark.
Um,
But
I'm, I should have prepared better because
let me
I'm.
see if I can trying to think of another way that I have on my computer, which actually I'm working from. I know though that when I've tried to do it on my phone before, I had the same issue as you, as far as you can't see you. But
This hasn't happened to me, but I haven't been in this particular
you
type
were
of
in
app
before,
before either.
yeah. I was trying to think if it's something that you send me, if I can put it on my screen while you're up, and then you can see it. So why don't you try to send it to me?
Well, I found it, but I'm not. Can you
Uh,
still see me? You can't still see me though.
no,
True.
I can't see. I can't see you. So,
Can they hear the poem and then I'll try to come back in?
sure. Yeah, we can hear you.
I brought the poem up. It's looking for Mr. 10. Is there really such a thing? Or only faraway lyrics, cardinals and bluebirds sweetly singing? Perhaps a Cinderella fairy tale laden with dreams of Prince Charming or a magnificent knight in shining armor. Standing in my foyer, glistening under twilight bling of chandelier, a strong world of fantasy. My imagination runs wild. He appears once again in my dreams, clean, clearer, cleaner than clean. Keeping dreams alive, hoping for a surprise. Mr. 10 will truly show up one glorious fine day. Written for Annette.
Oh, thank you so much.
That's it.
Yeah, so that's wonderful. And then we'll be able to see you again, maybe, right? Probably have to minimize it or something. Um, can you come back in? I don't know if you have to.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. We just can't see you yet.
It seems like we kind of messed up here some kind of way.
Yeah. Well, why don't I, while you're trying to come back into view, I'll go ahead and read mine. That I couldn't figure out if I was going to be able to write about. There you are! Yay! Okay. So
So you
mine. I love yours, by the way. Love it, love it. Please send it to
can I
me.
hear yours? Because I didn't hear it.
Yeah, it's looking for Mr. 10. Why have I settled for so long in the game of love? I deserve much better. Faults of a man I would ignore. My idealistic man I suppressed from my mind, never to attain. Talking sense to my insecure thoughts, my conscience would implore. When it comes to love, you should seek the best. Nothing to lose and all to gain. No longer shall I settle for second best in the fickle game of love. I am the queen of my kingdom of romance. My regal king I now seek, gallant and handsome. He shall adore me, for I am a gem to be coveted as rare. He will be intelligent and quick of wit. No part of him shall I need to tweak. He shall have only eyes for me. They will not roam or wander. Selfish, I will not share. I am determined now that I will be the winner. My hand trumps in my game of love. There will be no tolerance. Time is far too precious. It will be only one strike, you're out. Do not doubt my ability to find what I seek. It is not an if, it is a definite when. My confidence has peaked. A cunning smile I adorn. No more tears, not a hint of a pout. True, I once settled for much less than I will attain. A 9 will not suffice. I am looking for Mr. 10. There you go, girl. That's it.
You did you did a great job.
I did. Yeah,
Yeah.
for somebody at first you threw me that. I thought you threw me a curveball. I was like just blank for about 5 minutes, I think, and then I thought, oh, okay, I got it, girl. I can do
Yeah.
that.
You were only blank for about 2 minutes.
Oh well, it might have been 2 minutes, but yeah.
I
But
think
that was
so.
fun. Thank you for inspiring me. And I love when somebody gives me something that I can. I rather when I do this little exercise if the other person can come up with the title rather than me. And we have a bunch of comments, so perhaps we should go and take a look here. So we have Jill in the room. Jill Tate is one of my admin, one of my stellar admin. Hey Jill, um, kind of my backbone. And she is here, and she usually calls us lovely lasses. She's from the UK. So, and then we have a good morning from a Facebook user. So if you haven't changed your settings to reveal who you are, please sign each statement that you have so we know who you are. Because you're only a Facebook user. And here we have, I don't know if you know her, the Black Widow, a poet from Franklin, Tennessee. She is marvelous. Um, Gina Cass. Oh, because of the C. Gina, I'm so sorry. I'm forgetting your last name. I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, she's been on the Pop Chat, and she's a marvelous spoken word artist. Very dynamic, and need to have you on again, Gina. Hope you're doing well. And then we have a hello from someone. Again, please sign. We have a good morning, and we have a good evening from India, and then ah, I love that you love, Jill. She was talking about how you love. So, yes, indeed. And we got a
Thank
hello, and we
you.
have Greg Etzel is here. Greg is a faithful viewer, and very nice discussion from someone. And we have a good evening um, to, mm,
To all.
oh, to all. Thank you for deciphering that. Thank you. Good evening. And then we have a AJ High from the very hot UK. So the
Mm,
AJ is Alan Johnson. I don't know if you know Alan Johnson.
I don't.
Alan Johnson is the voice of the poet. He has done many of my videos. I don't know if I sent you any videos that he did with the voice. But he's a lives in the UK. He's a musician, and when we give him our pieces, he composes the music. He recites and does the narrative, and then he puts the video together, and they are masterpieces always. This morning, he posted one of mine, and I was listening to it. I think I met you in my dreams or something like that. And I was listening to it, and I thought, wow, I wrote that. Did I write that? I know I wrote it. But I guess he just brings it to life, and it just makes it sound so much better. And then we have oh, I love your birdies. She heard your birds. There's birds in the background, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And
Outside my.
there's a siren too.
I
And
know I cut the mic off because the sirens were kind of loud.
AJ, looking real good, Tarpley. Thank you, sir. And then we have Sai Prakash from India, also one of my admin. Hey, Sai. We have an outstanding, and AJ says, Alan Johnson, us men getting a hard time. Oh, well, yeah, well, we have to.
Not really.
We were just telling you what we want in the perfect Mr. 10. Ah, Mr. Perfect 10 is out there for sure.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
then
Thank
what?
you, Jill.
And then righty so, Mr. AJ. And then we have a 10 outstanding. Very good. Pivotal poetry. Um, who pivotal poetry? I don't know what your name is. You get awarded all the time on our site. Has does stellar work. And then we have hello, Annette, Annette Lady Di. It's great to see you both together. I'm enjoying the program. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Wish I knew who you were. And keep going. Nice to get together. So thank you very much for all your comments and thanks for viewing us. And I was you have so many accolades and you've done so much. I think that when we talked the other day, you had mentioned, was it over 60 years that you've been writing?
Yes.
But you're 62, right? You're 62. Yeah.
No, I'm more than.
Oh, it is Michael Anthony Ingram. Hi, Michael.
Hi,
Glad
Michael. Oh,
and it's because of Michael that I made the Lady Di connection. So
oh,
thank you.
thank you, Michael.
Yeah, appreciate it.
He's so kind.
So I know that you started when you were two, writing,
I'm gonna let you say that
and
today.
and so I guess you started at a very young age.
Yes, elementary.
Was there something in particular that inspired you to start writing?
Well, my parents were poets and philosophers in their own right. They didn't. They took care of us and devoted so much time toward us, but they included poetry. They recited to each other. Mommy loved Shakespeare. Daddy loved Paul Laurence Dunbar and also Langston Hughes. So they would recite that. Dad woke us up in the morning with "In the Morning" by Paul Laurence Dunbar. Lives
Wow.
are lives, but bless the Lord. Don't you know these days abroad? Bet you better get up, you scamp, or there'll be trouble in this year camp. Look at your head. Look just like a feather bed. Bet if I come across that floor, you won't have no time to snow. And so that was, even the grandchildren know granddaddy from my dad
Yeah.
from that poem. He reciting that to us. And he also would sing to us too. He also had a lovely voice and he sang a lot of songs and so forth to us too. So
Yeah.
I started poetry. We read nursery rhymes. Having 9 children, we went to the library, no charge. We went to the museums, the art
Yeah.
galleries, no charge. My dad would have his work pass that he rode the bus or streetcar, and he would use that to take his family out on the weekends, and no charge. So they
Are your parents published?
they're not published, and I say poets and philosophers in their own
Yeah.
right. They never
Yeah.
published or wrote. Mommy would write down things on pieces of paper. You would see her writings. We have some of them,
Right.
little writings that mommy did.
Yeah.
Daddy, he had a lot of different sayings and things that he said. They want me to write a book, the things that my daddy said, or things that dad would say. But all of us are considering that book. I think we should all should write it. They think I should write it. Well, I'm writing. I'm writing what I want to write.
Yeah. I think that it's so important. Each of us makes a mark on this earth, and once our loved ones are gone, all their knowledge and wisdom is gone.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the things that I did before my mother died was I gave her a little book, and it was like every day of the year it asked a new question, right?
Okay.
And it, like, tell me about the day I was born, or what's the naughtiest thing you ever did when you were little. I mean, questions that you wouldn't even think to ask.
Yes.
And after she passed, that's the first thing I saw was that book, and I opened it up, and it was so therapeutic to go
Oh,
through there, and there are things that are in there that I would never have known. So I think it's important for us all to leave our little mark on this. And how great if you would kind of publish some of your parents' stuff. That would be great.
I know.
So
Um, at one point, you had asked me to say some things about myself, and I knew that I wouldn't remember all that I wanted to share, but I just found the page where I wrote down 12 things, and I called them exceptional, exciting times for Lady Di. And if I could read those.
yes, please. Here, let me give the screen to you. And yes, I want to hear about that. And after you do that, if you would share a poem with us, that would be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number one, meeting Dr. Maya Angelou, especially the first time. And I met her on a number of occasions that she started to recognize me when she would get out of the limo and seeing that, knowing that I had been there quite a while to be in the one of the first people that she would see. And she said, "There's my welcome wagon." And I just can still hear her voice. Number two, publishing my first book of poems, Forever in Your Eyes. Three, submitting Sylvia Diane Beverly papers to George Washington University Gilman Library. I've done 2 volumes of those papers now. Going to London um, and women to represent the United States for Women's History Month in 1998. Keynote speaker at my elementary school, my alma mater's graduation, the keynote speaker for 6th grade graduation. Um, and also when the graduates recited my poetry, "It's Up to You," um, when they recited my poetry to me. First time riding a motorcycle, first time on Kojo Nomni show, first time on WPFW with my dear beloved friend Brother R, presenting at the Italian Embassy, a tea with Grace Cavalieri, Maryland State Poet Laureate, meeting J. California Cooper and sharing the stage with her, and she treated us to dinner. Those 12, I stopped there for 12 exciting times connected to being the love poet.
That is marvelous. You've accomplished a lot. So go ahead and share one of your pieces with us.
Okay, my being the love poet, my first poem I want to share is I wrote it last evening. It's entitled My Darling Love. With every beat of my heart rings a sensational melody just for you, my darling love. You are cherry on top my hot fudge nut sundae, finishing touches of my love for you. A love truly a bright light of pathway to my heart. A love perpetually comforts my soul being. My darling love, it was true love at first sight, a love traveling the test of time through darkness and daylight. I am yours, you are mine, you are forever mine. My darling love, let goodness of our love flow from one another, bring forth joyous feelings and tantalizing smiles, all the while making us feel delightful and strong. I wrote that last.
Beautiful,
I wrote that last
beautiful.
evening.
You now, did you write that before or after the Mr. 10?
I wrote that after Mr. 10.
After Mr. 10. Okay.
After
Very
Mr. 10.
cool.
And what I should have done is written Mr. 10 in this same book that I wrote. I wrote in my journal that I'm writing new poems in. I should have written Mr. 10 in here instead of typing it into my phone.
Okay. So those are the methods. Is that what you do? You use your phone or you write it down?
I, my poetry flows through me, so I'm usually writing it down,
Yeah.
typing it into notes, and these days putting it in copy paste into Word because
Yeah.
I have a new book coming up, and that's what I've been doing with the poems that are in the manuscript, copy
Wow.
paste into Word. So now
Do
I'm
you
doing
have
that.
you have a launch date in mind when that is going to be coming out?
It's going to be 2023, but we don't know how much editing and formatting and time framing on that it's going to be. But my publisher does have my manuscript, and they are going to edit it and format it for me.
Wonderful. And is there can you give us the title?
The title is A Kiss of Curiosity.
I like that. A kiss of
Read my book,
curiosity.
read my cornucopia of poems, and you will find out lots more about me.
Very good. Do you think that everything that you write is in other words, I write a lot of fiction. I do a lot of storytelling. So do you ever do that, or do you is everything kind of about you underneath in the
They, it's a combination of both. I will do something that has that is fact, but it will also have fiction blended in it, to make it
yeah,
a more exciting or whatever. I want to get that
right.
thought out, but I want to add a little, attraction, a little glamour, a little more feeling to it.
You know what I
So
think is exciting is looking at you and looking at your pink, hot pink background setting. I love that. So I looking at that paint reminds me of my room as a child. We painted our room that color.
I'm still a child at heart, so that's why
Ah,
my room is raspberry. Yes.
yeah. Well, that's the endearing thing about us as we get older. If we can hold on to a little bit of that child in
And
us, right?
yeah, and probably make it like whatever we want to make it. You don't have to, living on my own. I make whatever color I want. The ceiling is lilac, sort of lilac color. The bathroom is lilac. So yeah, making it pretty much how we want to make it.
Color's good. So I ask everyone this question. This is my question. You come across Aladdin's lamp and you get three wishes. You can wish for anything you want, whatever your heart desires. What will you wish for? What are your three wishes?
3 wishes.
Hmm.
Um, with the wishes, what I want to say, would the wishes have to be something that could take place, or something that
Whatever you want, it is your wishes. You can be yes, you can be humanitarian or selfish as you want. You can do whatever you want to wish for.
I wish that I would not have to see another loved one pass on away from this world. I wish I would have to not experience that. And that's been my wish for many a year as I've lost 3 siblings and my parents and my grandparents and my aunts and uncles and etc. So
You know, you're the I think that's the first time I've heard that one. So that is a I understand that totally.
that
Yeah.
is a real hard thing to go through. That's a lifetime situation. Um, the grief never completely subsides.
Right?
I do a lot of good and fun to camouflage those feelings. What else would I
Yeah.
wish for? Um, I wish to live long enough to see my youngest niece, who's my heart, she and her mother, they're like my daughter and my granddaughter. I wish to see her graduate from college and move into whatever her profession is going to be. She's been an honest student and a leader, a trailblazer since elementary, since a toddler.
Wonderful.
And
How old is she now?
she's 16 now and still an honest student. She teaches
Wow.
children ice skating. She rises to excellence in all that she does. I'd like to see what her occupation will be. And she says that it will be something that she'll be able to take care of herself and help take care of some others.
Good. Is she a writer?
She is a writer, but she does not share her poetry yet.
Okay.
I have not seen her poetry, but her mom tells me that she's an excellent writer. And I know she is because she is excellent in all that she does.
Yeah.
And then, just for fun and a nice wish for me, I'd like to have my dream come true automobile, which would be a Jaguar. That's my car.
What color?
What color would I have? I would have either a gold metallic color or black.
Oh, nice.
And
See,
my
I
car,
thought you told me the other day that your favorite color is red, so I thought you
I
said
was
your
going to say
favorite
my
color
present car is red, a red Chrysler 300, but I would change up on that, surprise people with black. Yeah,
black. Yeah,
black
except for black. I
Jaguar.
have a black vehicle and they get very dirty. You might want to go
That's
with
okay. I'll take it there daily. I don't have, yeah. All I want to do is write poetry and go where I want to go anyway. So
Are Jaguars a nice ride? I've never. I don't know. I'm trying to think if I've ever ridden a
I've
Jaguar.
ridden in one, and the doors sound like soft, like shh, when it closes. No slamming the door. The door just, shh, and I just
Yeah,
love that. But I think it's a
nice,
sharp
nice.
looking car. Yeah, I like it.
I like Lexuses. I think they're really. I used to
They
have an
are.
old
I
one.
think one of my
Old
sisters had
one.
a Lexus. Yeah,
Yeah.
and one of my friends too. Yeah, I like
You
that
know
car.
what? One of my wishes is that someday I would like to get together a poetry cruise where we all meet and go on a cruise together. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, we are thinking about that. Some of my groups we've mentioned that. So I'll let you know if it comes to be, if we start to put
Oh,
that together.
I
Yeah,
know that
I
would be
think we should
great.
do that. We should
I
have it
know.
for fun and workshops and presentations and all. Open mics. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. We need to make
That-
that happen. That would be lovely. So, what would you, what advice would you give to someone who might just be on the cusp of getting into poetry? They feel very, like, for instance, the other day on my site, there was somebody that was talking about wanting to write poetry, feeling very insecure about it, and that she couldn't do it, that she didn't have the mindset or whatever. And I said, just let the words flow. And she said, I don't know how to rhyme. I said, it doesn't need to rhyme, you know.
yeah.
And so, what advice would you give to someone like that?
Well, I would say if they're really interested in writing poems, to attend some workshops. There are a lot of virtual on Zoom these days workshops, and then join. If you do social media, you can see some of the workshops that people do, and you have an opportunity to get some pointers from them. One group that's open that I'm in is Poets on the Green Line. So
Hmm,
you could look them up on Facebook, and you can join Poets on the Green Line.
nice.
And that's a workshop where we create and read in the same hour or two, no more than 2 hour program that we have
Right.
once a month. So I would say do that. Also, get one book and write in that book, and write something every day. Write something, just like how you pray every day. I write something every day, and it can just be some words that you want to use. Make a list of words, and then randomly, and then include those words in whatever it is that you're writing. So it's a lot of different little techniques. I don't believe in writer's block, so I have a lot of different techniques that I use that I always have something to say. And I believe there's a poem inside of all of us. If you think it, believe it, achieve it.
Think it, believe it, achieve it. I like that. I like that. That's great. So, why don't you share some more of your work with us? You had mentioned something earlier. Was it your signature poem that you spoke of?
Okay, I have
You,
my signature. I'm gonna do it after I do this one that I wrote 2 weeks after my brother's funeral. I put together a funeral for my brother and his wife. They were murdered in their home, and they said it was a parent robbery. I wrote this poem. My brother and I, we were the first two children, he being number one, me two, and we were partners. We even would vacation together, just the two of us. I cry. I cried. I had to cry. I lost the love of my life. I know the goodness of love because of him. I feel the power of the Holy Spirit because of our love and unity. I cherish many glad, glorious memories shared. Grace our spirits. I appreciate our outward expressions of love for one another. I love the way we always loved each other. I love how we express our love to each other, often and always. Oh, my handsome knight, I love you, handsome king. I love you with a mighty might. I will always love you. I love how I can still hear you say, I love you too, babe. I will always miss you. I will always have a reason to cry. I hurt, so I cry. Dedicated to the loving memory and great honor of the late Daniel Levi Beverly Jr., my brother. I love you.
Beautiful, beautiful. So before you go on with your other one, because as you're reading and as you've been talking, you know that Bible verse, and I can't tell you where it is in the Bible, but I know you know the verse that there are angels among us, right?
Yes.
And I think you're the angel among us.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
No, no, I think that it actually gives me chills. I got chills right now. But I think that there are people that of course, everyone has purpose in life, and you certainly have purpose in many different ways, and you have the ability to touch people in so many different ways, and and I think that not just through your writing, which is impactful and powerful and beautiful and loving, but also through the beautiful spirit that makes up Lady Di. I think that you know you are an angel among us. So
well,
you
thank you,
can
Annette.
you're welcome. And I'm going to give you the stage again and go ahead and recite your next one.
Thank you. This is one of my signature pieces, and it's called Come, Holy Spirit, Keep Teaching Us. We're all spirit filled people, carriers of the Holy Spirit, born to be leaders, presenting God's Word. With the Spirit we stand fearless, with the Spirit we stand proud, in the image and likeness of God. Let us proclaim the mystery of faith out loud. We are present day apostles. We are people the Spirit has descended upon. Take responsibility in presenting the word of the Lord. Let it lead until our day is done. There's no cost for the gift of the Spirit, just the will to say yes and acceptance within our hearts. The beauty of faith and prayer will do the rest. Let's go back to the basics. Place prayer in our schools, one love, one God, unity of the Holy Trinity rules. Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, filled our hearts with joy and love. Kindle in them deeply the gladness of your love. Come, Holy Spirit, come, Holy Spirit, come, Holy Spirit. Keep teaching us. Keep teaching us. Thank you.
That was beautiful. I love that. I love that. That has a big message. It has a lot in there that needs to be said, doesn't it?
Yeah, that That's dedicated to Father Njoko, Innocent Njoko from Nigeria. Yes.
Nice,
We
nice.
became he was a visiting priest at my church, and we became really good friends.
Very nice. That was lovely. That was lovely.
I wrote that poem in May 31st, 1998.
Yeah. One of the things that you said initially when you were introducing yourself was the the fact that you know still do handwritten messages and so forth to people and things like that. And I
Yes.
think that that's so important. We kind of are missing that personal touch, you know. There's only so much that text or those emojis can do, but when you see somebody write their love and their sentiments in their own handwriting and that they take the time to do that, it's a
Yes.
big deal because nobody does it anymore. Who does that? If you feel like writing me one, that'd be fine because I haven't got one of those in years.
Send me your mailing address, and you'll get something in the mail from me.
I will. I can't remember. I can't. I occasionally will get a thank you, like when I do something, or I'm a very giving person, and so I occasionally will get a thank you or a lovely note. But it always means so much. I keep them because they're like treasures.
Well, when you
So
start sending them out, they will come back to you. People will think of you. When you start sending them out, people will send you a just thinking of you card.
oh, nice. I
That's
need to
that's
start
what I
saying.
received. I had people make. I've had people make cards for me. I have a beautiful card.
Wow.
I
I
should
need
have
to
brought it.
start doing that. I've gotten away from that. I got away from sending Christmas
Yeah.
cards and all kinds of
Um,
cards out.
you give, you get.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true. My
yes.
grandmother, who was almost 102 when she died, would get like every birthday, would get just hundreds of cards and just. And she would just, it was so lovely to sit and watch because that was her pride and joy. She just sit there, look at these cards. So, one of the things too that I was going to ask you, and this is kind of a stance that I've taken on my site, in that um, I, I find it, and I want to know your thoughts on it. I find it very important that poets title their work. To me, it's a piece is unfinished if it's not titled. I always say, we give birth to our work, and we don't give birth to a baby and not name it. We don't write a song and not name it. And so, to me, it's very important that we do that and kind of put our signature on it. Now, that's my own thing. So I recently started rejecting pieces that are untitled. Um, so I want to know your sentiments on that because maybe I'm being a little bit too hardcore on it. So what do you think about that?
Um, I'm thankful and blessed that I usually have a title and I write to the title. But also, I will write. I have a poem here that I was going to read that I wrote, and I presented it to the person, and I said, but it doesn't have a title. And he said, yes, it does. It's called A Poem Looking for a Title. So I want to read that one.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
The person is dedicated to Kwame Alexander, who's a Newbery Prize winner and New York Times bestseller with his book Crossover. And the crossover is now a made for Disney Plus TV series. So this is Kwame. Kwame is a dear friend of mine, and this poem I wrote for him in 2003. Through poetry, our voices are heard, heart to heart talks, designed by the spoken word. Through poetry, we paint phenomenal, pretty pictures, expressions from our hearts, whether reality or fiction. Through poetry, we unite in a bond of strength and action, smiling all the while to get another's reaction. Through poetry, our lives have sensational splendor, like radiant rainbows rising, bursting through clouds of thunder. Through poetry, we always have something to do, whether reading or writing, let it be good to you. Through poetry, we pour out the love of our heart's soul, feeling oh so yummy when in your arms your love you hold. Through poetry, we take a stand for what is richly righteous, teaching our children to be strong, spiritual, intelligent, caring, and courageous. Through poetry, we share most intimate truths, appreciating the positive energies always under roof. All of this through poetry? It's no wonder poetry is my passion.
That's
Dedicated to Kwame
beautiful.
Alexander. Thank you.
That's beautiful.
A
Thank you for
poem
sharing that.
looking for a title. Thank you.
A poem looking for a title. I like that. A poem looking for a title. One thing I asked you to do was I said, send me a poem of yours. I'd like to try to recite one of your poems. The bad thing is I looked over it a couple times and I didn't really practice it. So I'm afraid if I do it, I'll mess it up.
No, you won't mess it up. Just go ahead and read.
Um,
I want to hear it.
I absolutely love the name of it. And the name of it is Royal Blue Rhapsody. And you just wrote this not too long ago, February
I
of this year.
did.
Yeah.
And it's the title of my sister paints. She's an artist
Hmm.
internationally, and she did a picture not too long ago and was hanging in an art gallery. And when I came home after being at that program, I wrote that poem. Um,
Was it regarding a painting then that she
a,
painted?
it's from her painting. Her painting was called Royal Blue Rhapsody.
Do you have a picture of it? I'd love to see that. Really would.
Mm.
Royal Blue Rhapsody. Is it sold?
Oh, I think it hasn't been sold yet, but it's gorgeous. Let me see. Do I
Oh,
have it?
if it's a royal blue, that's great. So this is wow. I'm gonna have to. So forgive me.
It is royal blue. It's beautiful. She has a big hat on. The lady does. Trying to think, do I have a copy? I think in the other room I might have a copy. But go ahead and read the poem, and then I'll try to find the picture.
Royal Blue Rhapsody by Lady Di. Abide with great respect and admiration, perpetually held in high esteem, waiting, grace marbled vestibule, blinging chandelier foyers, elegant boldness and vibrant color, strength, oh so strong with an aura of lilies, lilac and lavender, luscious sweet scent,
Hmm.
nourishing great souls, embracing human generosity, sweet, kind, gracefully phenomenal, bright, brilliant attractiveness, turning heads, folks stop and stare to grasp, to obtain dimensions of your full potential. Royal Blue Rhapsody. It's a great poem.
Thank you. You did it wonders. I wanted to hear that read by someone else. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for that opportunity. And
Well,
my sister is Karen Maria Beverly, and she's her company, Irie Artistry by KMVB.
and she has a website on
I know she's on Arts for Us website, and I think she told me she discarded hers to start her website over
I'd
again.
love to see her work. I love
You can
art.
see it on Arts for Us. They have her work there. Arts for Us. That's a group that she belongs to.
Very, and she must be younger than you because you're the oldest
She's
girl.
younger. She's younger. All of them are.
Yeah.
She is 9 years younger. I helped mommy raise
She
them.
might be she might be closer to my age, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, she's 9 years younger, so yeah.
I don't
And
remember, I don't remember how young you are, but you don't have to divulge that.
I don't mind saying it. I'm 74.
Oh, you look marvelous too. You look really good.
I'm
I'll be
74.
I'll be 61 next month. Uh,
Well,
less than a month from now.
you look
So,
beautiful too. You look beautiful.
well, just as long as we keep that youth in heart. You know, it's
Yeah.
amazing to me, isn't it to you, where in some manners and in some arts, like for instance, let's say acting. Um, Generally speaking, you know, they're looking for youthful faces, you know, for the main character and things like that. But when you write, it doesn't matter how old you are, you know, your pen knows no age. And that's the beautiful thing about writing is that regardless of your age, you can write something magnificent and people will love it. So it knows no bounds. And your pen will forever be immortal, I'm sure, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think you're right.
yeah, you will live. I wrote a poem once. It's a great poem, and it doesn't rhyme. It's not a rhyming one, and it talks about this, and it's a fictionalized thing, but it talks about that very thing and the immortality of it. She goes and she picks up, you know, a book from the. It's on YouTube somewhere. Anyway, it's a great poem. So that was a beautiful poem, and I love the title, and I'd love to see your sister's artwork. We have some more comments. People are even actually staying on here at the highest. I think we had 9, which is pretty high. We have 5 viewers right now, and I'm trying to see where we might have left off. Um, I don't know. Wow, kiss of curiosity. Now that gets us curious. It says.
Uh-huh. That's what I wanted to do so you can get a copy.
Yeah, and yep, Adrian, curiosity would never kill the cat. Yeah, I'm gonna get a copy, and I'm also gonna buy your cookbook.
Thank
Um,
you.
yes, I will. Yes, and the pain of losing someone used to be with us is beyond heartbreaking
Yes.
indeed. Yeah, I wrote a you know poem about that. If we could spend one more day, you know, with our loved ones that are gone, kind of thing. Think it, believe it, achieve it. Such strong and powerful message, Adrian.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed. Adrian is uh, actually from the Philippines, and he's a young man who has his own website, Peace and Love. Oh gosh, why can't PLIS is it? Anyway, he's very innovative, but he has such wisdom. He's in his like early 20s, and
Mm.
there's been times where he has given me advice far beyond his years. And I think, wow, Adrian, that was profound. Yes, indeed, you're right. He's just a very loving, compassionate person, very much a humanitarian. Um, and let's see. Oh my God, bless you. Neither wonder. You are so beautifully passionate, Sylvia Beverly, it says. And
Oh.
you were always a lovely angel laugh. Oh, yeah, yeah. And poetic profession of faith and prayer. I love that. He's
Mm-hmm.
also a man of faith, of course. And Greg Etzel says, um, I have a good idea of the title of a poem. I always do. And then I can almost taste the sweetness of that royal blue rhapsody. Um, and then this has been amazing, inspirational as we head into the writer's midnight hour here in Australia. Oh,
Wow.
you're from Australia. Wow,
Wow.
how about that? Um, yeah, she's down under.
That's wonderful. Thank you for coming. And thank
Yes,
you,
thank
Adrian, for all
you.
those
I don't know what
compliments and
time. I
comments.
don't know what time it is in Australia. So I could talk to you forever, Lady Di, and there's so much more I would have liked to have talked to you about. Why don't you share maybe a couple more pieces as we kind of head our way out? And
Okay.
I don't know what I just did. I just made it so much bigger. Wow, I've never been in the screen before, Lady Di, but you should see it. I look a
Okay.
little bit more frightful on the big screen. There, I exited the big screen. So I'm going to give the lead back to you, and then we'll do some wrap up stuff. And here you go, my dear.
I'm in a number of groups, but one of my groups that is dear to my heart is the Voices of Woodlawn. And we're three African American poets and one Caucasian poet. And the Caucasian poet invited us to a plantation while he was on retreat. That's my dear friend Hiram LaRue. And we reluctantly, prayerfully accepted the invitation and we went out there. And as soon as I got there, I could feel the presence of my ancestors. We started writing poetry, started writing what we were feeling. We came up with so much that we have now formed a group called Voices of Woodlawn. This is one of my poems that came out of Voices of Woodlawn. Mama, oh mama. Mama, is Master going to sell you from us today? Mama, I surely pray not, 'cause I don't know what me and Nettie, Clisty and Jimmy would do, would do without you, without the comfort of your touch, sweetness of your voice. Oh, Mama, we would be sad, sadder than sad, so sad, Mama, if we didn't have you. Mama, will we ever be able to live our own life together? Just you, me, and my sisters and brother? How come, Mama? How come we can't run about, sing and play and be free? Oh, Mama, Mama, Mama. What would make a person feel like they're better than someone else? Make them feel they could treat them any old way. Huh, Mama? Talk rude to them, violate their personal space, disregard and disrespect. We humans too. What on earth did we do to deserve such a ridiculous way of life? Oh, Mama, will things ever change?
Nice.
And am I reading one or two more? Because I
You
make
just you just go for it, whatever you feel like.
okay. I'm going to read this one. Thinking of my brother that I wrote, I cried. This is me thinking of him back in the day when he used to ride his sleigh down the hill. He and my sister and I would just be up in the window. I never got on a. I never did a sleigh ride. I would look out the window at them. He waited for her, daydreaming as far back as she could remember. One of her favorite things to do. Staring out the window, viewing the tallest pine trees' snow covered tops, watching squirrels hop from one frosty branch to another. Far off in distance, a little boy hops on his sleigh, zooms down the hill. As she peers over the sill, she sees a little girl dressed in snowsuit, matching hat and gloves, shiny red boots, reluctantly eased to her sleigh. Down the embankment she flies, screaming to the top of her voice, eyes big and open wide, happy, excited, thrilled. The boy was at bottom of hill. Yes, he waited for her. And in closing, I love to do a love poem. It's entitled Southern Lovers. Love, oh love, perpetually tickles my exhilarated heart, ecstatic to be reunited. Hour after hour, we sit in homemade wooden rocker under giant magnolia down by river's bank. Silver strands glisten and shine our hair. From dawn to dusk, delightful, darling days gone by, we reminisce. So many stories connected and counted into a passionate, pleasing patoon. Remembering our favorite dessert, yesterday I made a sweet love cake. 3 buttery homemade layers made from scratch. Each layer spread with Milky Way nugget, stacked and covered in fluffy, creamy milk chocolate icing, generously sprinkled with our favorite nuts. Fresh pecans have oozed like old-fashioned hearty love and laughter shared between lovers, with each bite, each deliciously moist slice. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So not only can you make that stuff and create it, then you can do the word art to make you hungry too, because you make it, you describe it so well.
And
So wow, I'm just
something
like,
I didn't share that I paint acrylic on canvas. I paint words, but I love the background. Then I do a real pretty background, and then I place the words on the background, all different
do,
sizes.
do you have anything close at hand? Do you have anything you can share with us?
Hmm. I have something I can share.
I'm trying to see if I got anything to share, but not a whole lot. I have this. I've had it. It's not even Christmas time. Still have it here. It's my sleigh, Lady Di.
What's
I
it
think I've
made out
showed
of?
everybody this.
What's
I
it
think I've
made out
showed.
of?
It is made out of. Let me see if I can. Here. It's made out of jewelry and flowers. See, it's got jewelry in it,
Mm-hmm.
and that is probably not my prettiest one, but I gave those
Did you
away.
make that?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I made that, and I got some other stuff around here. I make lots of stuff, so yeah, I make lots of stuff. I'm crafty, but I recently got into pour painting. Well, I only made a couple things, but I'm not so good at it yet. So we have a comment that says, this is a very lovely comment. Um, I just want to make sure we didn't lose you.
No, I'm here.
Okay. Still see your picture. Okay. So, and I wish you would say who you are, because we'd like to know who made that lovely comment. And it says, when they say poets are sentimental, you are the embodiment of such a vibe. Wow.
That's
There you
true.
go. Yeah.
I couldn't find Blue Rhapsody, but I
You
found
could.
something. I have something recent of hers.
Okay. Are
Let
you
me
going to
see.
come back on camera? Let's see.
I am.
Oh, it's Adrian. Adrian said that about the vibe.
Okay.
Thank you, Adrian. Yeah.
Thank you, Adrian.
He's okay. Is that hers?
That's Karen's work.
Oh, let
But
me see if I can make this bigger again. Okay. Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. Yes, I love that.
she
Oh,
makes
it's
greeting cards. This is a
nice.
postcard. She usually puts something like this in when you purchase something from her because she makes greeting
Yeah.
cards.
I would think that they'd sell very well. It's
They do.
beautiful.
She
Yeah.
makes small panel paintings, just small, and she
Does
makes
she
print.
live there? Does she live in town there, or does she live near you?
Yes, she does live near me. She
Mhm.
spent several years in New Orleans when she first started painting. She
Yeah.
also just started to paint a month after we buried my mom, and she was the main caregiver for mommy.
Hmm.
And and God gave her unveiled a hidden talent that she had never done,
The painting.
and
Wow.
she started painting and readily received, applied and received the uh, license to sell in New Orleans. Um, yeah,
Wow.
right across the street from that main
Bourbon
tasting
Street. I don't know.
near Bourbon, but that main, what I want to say. Oh wow!
Let's see.
So
There's. I've never been to New Orleans, so
oh, it's yeah, it's we went several times with the family. My sisters, yeah, we spent the Thanksgiving down there with her. But she maintained her home here and her loft in New Orleans and got her fill of that and got out of there just before that COVID.
oh wow, bless her heart.
This is
Oh, is that
one of
yours?
one of mine.
You,
This is my very first one.
yeah.
She,
Let me make it all bigger again so I can see it
okay,
better.
she told me
Think
to
it,
paint
believe it,
words.
achieve.
My sister told me,
Mhm.
she said the paint's there, and I was at her place, kind of watching her place while she was in New Orleans,
Yeah.
and I was saying, "Hurry up and come home. I'm getting bored." And she said, "Oh, all that paint in there. Go ahead and paint some of those words that you speak." So I say
Yeah.
this all the time: think it, believe it, achieve it. So I
Love
painted it.
it.
My first painting.
And I love that. I think it's
So
beautiful.
I gave a lot of my paintings away.
Yeah.
I didn't sell any. I just used them as gifts.
I think it's beautiful though. I love it.
This is 2016 when I started to paint,
I love that.
and she started to paint in 2013, one
Well,
month after we buried mommy.
oh, keep doing it, you know?
I need to start doing some more, but I'm happy that my book is with the publisher now, so maybe
Mhm.
I'll celebrate with
How many, I
doing.
was going to ask you and I neglected to do so, but how many poems are in your book?
It's 100 plus poems in it.
Wow,
Um, the
nice.
last count on the, they told me I had unlimited. I could do unlimited pages. They should never told me that. My first book is 120. My first book is 124 pages, but that includes the foreword and the intro and all of that. Um, this book, A Kiss of Curiosity, the last count I saw when I sent it to them was 139. But it's going to have a little more than that because it didn't have the certification page, and it didn't have the table of contents. I sent them separate.
Now, is it straight poetry? Are you going to have any artwork in it or no?
All poems.
All you. Well, your next one you'll have to do all your nice little artwork in there. So, include that. Of course, probably to do it all in the colorful colors that you do would cost
It costs a lot, so.
yeah.
But I was blessed to have that cookbook done in really pretty colorful pictures of some of the food that I cooked
I
that
am
day.
going to buy that. I am buying that. So, do you have fried chicken recipe in there?
Let's see. Fried chicken, I believe, is in.
If
Hmm.
we ever to get together, we are going to I would have a fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and gravy cook off with you. If you can
um,
do it,
barbecue chicken is in there, and I
it's one of the
barbecue.
few things that I can do well.
You can do fried chicken really well.
Oh, yeah. Fried
My
chicken, mashed
fried chicken I
potatoes.
learned in later years upon people insisting. My sister at SCC, she used to fry the chicken for us all the time, so I never got the real hang of it. But in the more recent years, I can fry pretty good. I feel like I can cook anything that you might want to taste.
My I wish that I could use. My grandmother made the best fried chicken, and she would use the iron skillets.
Yeah, I have one.
And I can't use it because I have a glass top stove top. I don't think you can use them on glass tops.
Oh, yeah, I
That's
didn't
what I
think
was
about that.
told. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe you could do it. Could you do it on a grill? Get a grill fired up. You know how they have the grills that have the little cook thing on the side? Maybe that wouldn't get hot enough. I don't know. But I'm just trying to figure out how else you can do it.
But I love some fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and gravy. I haven't had that in years. I've had fried
I,
chicken, but I haven't had homemade mashed
I'll make
potatoes.
that for you if you make something else for me.
Okay.
Actually, I hadn't made it forever, and to get my sons to come over for Christmas to help me put up my decorations, what I did was um, hey, I'll make some fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and gravy, and like instantly they both said yes. And then while we were eating it, we were all making these noises. Oh my gosh!
Uh huh. Uh huh.
Yeah. So we were making those little
That's
noises.
that's fun. That's when you know the food is really, really, really good.
That's right. That's right. Well, I just wanted to tell you what a pleasure it has been to have you on here with Pop Chat with me and for gracing us all with your presence and your beautiful poetry and your beautiful words and wisdom and all that you are.
Thank
Um,
you.
you exude love. Like I said, I think that you're the angel planted here on earth. But keep writing, keep blessing us all with your writing, and look forward to your book coming out and to getting that and to getting the two that you already have. So, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence, my dearest.
Thank
And
you so
Michael
much.
Ingram said, let's see, what a wonderful program. Lady Di, your poetry is sublime. God has given you a poetic universe as a gift, indeed.
Thank you,
And
Michael.
Michael has got some, he blew me away with his poetry
Yeah,
too.
he does. But he's so
Yeah,
gracious to his audience that he doesn't share his poetry that much. But I
he
like to
does.
hear some more of his poetry. And thank
Yeah.
you, Dr. Michael Anthony Ingram, for introducing Annette and I. Thank you
Yes,
so
thank
much,
you.
knowing that we would be friends.
Yeah, it was funny because I said, is there going to be another person that I'm going to like write to and they're not going to respond at all? And so it's funny because I sent her a message and it was like 11 o'clock at night. And then the next thing you know, my phone's ringing. And it's like, I said, and then I answered, like, did you butt dial me?
I said, no, I'm calling you.
I figured if you were texting me this late, you were up, right? But,
That's what
uh,
I said. Yeah.
that's right. And we talked for I think a couple hours. I
I
don't know
think we
how.
did when we met. Till
So
the wee
thank
hours of the
you,
morning.
Michael. Yeah, thank you, Michael, for intervening. And he said that you were marvelous. I asked him, and you were the only person he put out there. So
Oh, my. He's
yeah,
so kind.
he's a kind man. He certainly is. So thank you so much again, Lady Di, and it's been a pleasure. And you'll be joining me in an upcoming event, not about another week or so, or a couple weeks.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. So,
Will this one air anywhere? Was this
this
recorded?
will automatically be posted onto Pop. I'll send you these links.
Oh,
Be
my.
automatically posted onto Pop and to YouTube as soon as this ends.
Well,
So, yeah.
since my sisters, some of them are on Facebook, I'm going to say hello to them. To Linda, to Karen, to Donna, to Kimberly, my baby, and also to my sister cousin, Cynthia. I love you. You are my soul inspiration. Thank you, my babies.
That is very nice. Anything else you want to say before you leave?
God bless you, my sweet Cotty, my Cotty Jatu. You make Auntie so proud. Thank you so much. And here's to poetry, because poetry is my passion.
Exactly. Love and blessings to everyone. Thank you so much, Lady Di. And
Thank
thank
you.
you all for joining us. Love and blessings to you all.
God bless you.
Yes, and you as well. Keep writing, everyone.
Yes, I will. And we'll talk soon.
Yes, ma'am. Bye bye, Al.
Bye bye.